Good evening, class. Welcome to the Faculty of Management Science, Department of Project Planning and Management. Our course unit is Project Proposal Writing and Report Writing. We are looking at Module 3, Guidelines of Project Proposal Writing. And specifically today we are looking at contents. Later on we shall actually expound on them and explain item by item in turn and in detail. Now I'm only listing them and describing them briefly so that when we meet in the next lecture, we hand one by one in detail. It is however important for you to understand the contents as listed before you. You can see our number one content. Of course, we shall look at the title page, cover page, but now we are looking at what is inside your proposal book. Item 1 is the executive summary. The executive summary is an overview of the whole project. So in the proposal, you will explain what you intend to do. What you intend to do will be described here, where to do it, the amount of money, the period when you have to start and end the project, the people who will get involved, the beneficiaries, all the stakeholders are included here. This one, it is good advice that you use on the one page to explain the executive summary. However, even half a page could work, because the whole proposal may not be more than 12 pages, a good one. It is normally precise, compressed to the point. Item number 2 that I want you to know will be listed in our project proposal is introduction and background. When we are writing a proposal, we combine these two. When we are writing a report, we separate them. Remember, today we are writing a project proposal. And this one, we shall combine the introduction and the background. However, when we are looking at them, we shall handle the first paragraph, will focus on what you intend to do in the project. Okay? This one will slightly touch on the objectives of your project proposal, and the background will give the history. The background, the history, the origin of the problem that you are going to handle. It will slightly talk about your organization and what it does. Point number 3, we shall look at the strategic approach. Here, we explain the vision of the project. This is where we want to go, where we want to be. The vision. We actually envisage, we visualize, sit here and look far into the future and see where we want to be. That will be our vision. It is actually a statement showing where you want to be. You sit here and project and say, maybe in the next 5 years, we shall be the most outstanding non-governmental organization in this land that is looking after women empowerment. Under strategic approach, we also have a mission. A mission is a statement explaining what the project is all about. What do you stand for? Do you stand for quality assurance? Do you stand for women empowerment? That is our mission. Our mission is to see that all women are economically empowered, politically empowered, and socially empowered. They are not marginalized. Under the strategic approach, you ought to look at the objectives. These are specific short-term targets that are to be listed in your proposal, and they lie under the page of strategic approach. You need also to look at project description. We explain how you will run your projects from A to Z, the operations. If it's an item that is going to be traded in, explain how you will source it, how you will collect it, the whole procurement procedure from the time when you initiate the consignment up to the time when it will be actually in your store and again dispersed. If it's an agricultural project, how you will prepare the land, how you will actually plant, how you will weed, how you will harvest, how you will store, how you will market, how you use the money. That is our project description. It depends on the particular project. You need to have a page explaining the scope of the project. And the scope of the project, it has to tell us where will it be located, what will it deal in, okay, who will be the beneficiaries of this project, how many are they, and why are we targeting these particular people. This should always be specified. After that, very important, you need to actually have a statement of need, what we can call justification. Explain that there is actually a problem and you come here to stand in to solve this problem. It is very important. Minus this, there will be no rationale of starting any project. So you have to always explain the significance of any project that you're going to actually initiate. Very important is number 7, you list all the activities of your project. Whatever you are going to do should be listed so that we can actually be consistent in what we are doing. After listing them, we can have a matrix, a 4W matrix explaining particularly who will do what at what particular time. The 4W matrix explains 4 letters. 1 is what activity are we going to look at as listed above. Activity 1, who will be responsible, then where will it be done, and where will it be done. All those are important, okay? So number 8, we shall look at some project analysis tools. That is to say, we shall use the SWOT and the PESTLE tools. These management tools will help us to explain whether our project will actually be feasible or viable. We shall look at them one by one and in detail. SWOT analysis is a very popular tool that is used by most managers. You have to actually, first of all, understand what SWOT stands for. It is the strength of the business or the project. The weaknesses are explained, the opportunities are explained, and the threats are explained. When you look at this slide, you may discover that we have internal factors that affect the project and external factors that affect the project. When you look at our column one, vertically, we are looking at harmful factors. I beg your pardon. We are looking at harmful factors. Okay. Then on our left, we have helpful factors. The harmful factors include weakness and threats. Then the helpful factors include strengths and opportunities. Then when we look at the rows or the horizontal axis, we have in the first row internal factors. Internal factors can either be harmful or helpful. The helpful ones are strengths, and the harmful ones are weaknesses. Strength is what will actually propel the organization to success. Weakness will pull the project down. External factors include opportunities and threats. Opportunities will actually help the organization to succeed, whereas the threats will pull down the project, and it may not actually go very far. The PESTLE analysis will help us to understand and plan for any business environment. And in our projects, these are very important. They include the following. These variables will always affect your proposal, and they may pull down the project or promote the project. We shall look at them one by one. PESTLE is a shortcut explaining these variables. The 6 variables include the political factor, ecological factor, social cultural factor, technological factor, economic factor, and lastly the legal factor. Explained in detail, you may discover that under political factors, we have some services that are offered by the political organizations. We have infrastructure. If it is bad, therefore the project will not be successful. We have the tax policy. A good tax policy will promote the organization, and a poor one will pull it down. Regulation, this is the law that's governing the country in which you're operating. Good laws will promote your project. Then we have the economic factors. If the growth rate is high, probably your project will also grow faster. Inflation, the persistent increase in the prices of goods may affect your projects, and if you have budgeted for 50,000, by the time you're implementing it, you may not actually be able to have enough money, because the money you have budgeted for will be less at that particular time. Labor costs, people with whom you work will need some money. The efforts are paid, and if the labor is expensive, then you have a problem in your business. It's also important for you to understand a business cycle in economics. You know that any business will always have a slow start, then rapid growth, and at a certain point, it will start declining. We shall have some economies, diminishing returns will actually set in. If you don't change style, it will collapse. So the proposal has to actually adhere to the business cycle theory. S stands for social cultural factors. Demography, how many women do we have, how many men do we have, how many are aged, how many are young, which is the most productive population in the place where you're actually starting your proposal. And if the proposal is implemented in a place where the population is aged and there are no young people to work, then you have a problem. And the cultural norms, you should be aware of how people behave in a particular area. Okay, education. An educated population is easier to control because they understand whatever you're talking about easily. Income distribution, if people are poor and money is in the hands of very few people, you most likely have a problem in implementing your proposal. Technological advances are also very important in your project implementation. Okay, emerging technology should actually be learned by your team members, and there should be transfer of technology into you. If you go for refresher courses and get updated in technology, most probably you'll be able to actually enhance the progress of your project. Research and development efforts are very important. We cannot engage in any project if we have not done enough groundwork and get facts about whatever we're going to implement. So it's very important. Communication is vital to the stakeholders, to the team members, for us to propel the project ahead. Very important are the legal factors. Legal factors could be regional laws in the place you're operating, and how law is enforced, and how the court systems operate. Last but very important about the PESTLE analysis tool, we look at the ecological factors. How are we managing resources? Resources should be managed with the theory of sustainability in mind, because we have to use resources as we think about the future as well. Look at the energy availability. If you don't have enough energy and the project requires processing of goods, then you have a problem. Workforce health, a sick population cannot work. You should also study if the workforce is actually healthy or not. Climate change is important. In some areas, the climate is changing negatively and it affects some projects like agricultural products or environmental projects. Number 9, you have to have a plan for your human resource. You have to have a structure for the organization. This structure will explain the chain of command and the reporting lines, who is in charge of what and who supervises who. The core of your proposal will be a budget. The budget will summarize how you actually get money and how you spend money. These are cash inflows and cash outflows. We shall look at it in detail in the next chapter, the breakdown of personnel, the breakdown of operations, the breakdown of equipment, the breakdown of travel and so on. Also very important, you should have monitoring and evaluation. Monitoring, you follow up what was suggested in your proposal and you evaluate if it is actually on course. And if the standards are not followed, you actually effect corrective measures to put the project on course. Last but not least, is sustainability. How will the project operate or be feasible after the money that you got from the donor is complete? Will it be able to stand on its own? It should be able to sustain itself after the funding of the donor. However, you have to make a conclusion which is unbiased, but in most cases, your conclusion should actually indicate that the project is feasible or viable for funding. Okay, there will not be coursework given for this short lecture because we are only looking at the contents. After looking at them in detail one by one up to the conclusion, we shall be able to have some questions and even start writing our proposal that will be examined. Okay, thanks a lot for being a good listener. I would only suggest that perhaps by tomorrow evening, you'll get a full lecture handling each item one by one, written in a PowerPoint. It will be your example that will follow to develop your own project proposal in the future. Assalamu alaikum.